Welcome back everyone to my Chelsea career on Football Manager 2018. It's certainly been a while, hasn't it? I mean, over the last month or so, it's just been so difficult for me to sit down and really get into a Football Manager save. I mean, I started things off with the Mönchengladbach series. That didn't really work out. Then I started this Chelsea save. Things were going well, and then, one thing led to another, and the series just slowly fizzled out. There were no more episodes. Then I decided to start complete fresh with that AC Milan save, hoping it would go on for 4-5 seasons or more, up until FM19 was released. That wasn't the case. I only did a few episodes again. But now I'm back, I'm feeling refreshed and ready to go, and I've decided to stick with this Chelsea save as I felt it was more popular with you guys watching, and also I enjoyed it a lot more than the other two previous saves when I did start. So let's have a look at how things have been going. I have played a couple of games off camera. I say couple, it's quite a lot actually. It's a huge chunk of the start of this first season with Chelsea. The last episode, we lost 2-1 to Arsenal at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League. That was our second game into the new season. That took us in to the international break. When we returned, we were at Goodison Park to take on Everton. We beat them 1-0, getting back to winning ways with the goal coming from Mesut Ozil, our new signing from the summer from Arsenal. He didn't feature in that Community Shield final, if you remember. He featured for Arsenal, and then he featured for Chelsea in that 2-1 loss at Stamford Bridge. Bit of a weird one, but he did get his first goal for the club and the winning goal against Everton. Then up next, we were at home to Crystal Palace. We beat them 2-0, both goals coming from Willian and Michy Batshuayi. You can see Ozil picking up a slight knock in this game. Decent performance all around, but Morata, bit disappointed with a 6.4. He's been a bit slow off the mark for us this season. Then we started our Champions League campaign at home to Napoli. This was the game that I said in the previous episode we was going to come back for this one. Well, obviously that didn't happen, but this game finished 0-0. It did feature Dujon Sterling. He had to play out wide as Ozil was out with that injury, which he picked up against Palace. He put in a decent shift, to be honest. I was really impressed with what he showed in that game against Napoli. Tough opposition as well. It didn't put him off, so it's given me reason to include him in the first team a lot more as the season goes on. Then up next in the Premier League, we were away to Burnley. It finished 1-1. We were looking as though we were going to get those 3 points, but it was a late goal from Stephen Defoe that got the point for Burnley. Then we were drawn against Sunderland in the Carabao Cup third round. I think that was drawn in the last episode. We beat them 3-0. Goals coming from N'Golo Kante, Antonio Rudiger and Kennedy, which booked our place in the fourth round, which we play in today's episode away to Fulham. Then we were back at Stamford Bridge to take on Stoke. Morata off the mark finally with the first goal in the 11th minute. Then Cesc Fabregas doubled our lead in the 20th. Pretty boring game from there on out. Then we travelled to Germany to take on RB Leipzig in the Champions League second group game. We beat them 2-1. It was a hard-fought game. Daley Blind, really impressive in that one with his defensive responsibilities. Then we were at the Etihad for the massive clash against Man City. It finished 2-2. Aguero with both goals for City. Gabriel Jesus was sent off in the 29th minute. We were doing so well in this game. Ozil got himself on the score sheet again, picking up an 8.0 rating. Morata also with the opening goal in the 8th minute. Fantastic game. Shame we couldn't have got those 3 points, but we did pick things up in the away game to Newcastle United. It finished 4-2. Starting to get into the rhythm of things now, as you can see. Hazard, Morata with his first hat-trick for Chelsea in this save. Really impressed with that. Disappointed that we drew against Olympiacos, though, in the group stages. Finished 1-1 there with Michy Batshuayi getting our goal, but Antonio Rudiger got sent off in the 72nd minute, which means he will miss the next game in the group stages at home to Olympiacos. And finally, bringing us up to date, we've just recently beaten Leicester City 3-1 at Stamford Bridge. Goals from Hazard, Daley Blind and Willian. Daley Blind with his first goal as well for the club since signing in the summer. Been really impressed with him lately, and we'll just have a look at his attributes and also Hazard's and his stats as well. Since signing, we're now on the 22nd of October, and so far, so good. He does seem to be coming good for us at the moment. 6 starts in the Premier League, 1 goal. He's not here to score goals. He's here to be that solid defensive figure that we've all come to know of Daley Blind. 6 starts, 1 goal, an average rating of 7.06 in all competitions. Pretty decent start for him with life at Chelsea. And the same goes for Ozil. Obviously, with him being in a more advanced role than Daley Blind, he's going to be in the thick of the action, really. 8 starts for him, 2 goals in the Premier League. Decent showing in the Champions League. He only started with 1, as he's had to miss out on one of the other games through injury. But again, like Daley Blind, so far so good for our new summer signings. Ozil, I think, is just, well, he seems to be the perfect fit for us at the moment. So here's the league table then as it currently stands. We are 3rd, just a point behind league leaders Arsenal. Manchester United in 2nd on 20 points. But we do have a bit of breathing space with Man City. They are 2 points behind us. Leicester up in 5th at the moment, but we are only 9 games in. Arsenal do have a game in hand. It's been a poor start for Huddersfield. They've only picked up 3 points in 9 games. They're yet to win a game. And Stoke and Brighton also in that relegation zone at the moment. But it's still early days. You got the Manchester derby coming up soon as well, Friday the 27th of October. We've got West Ham next in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge, which I'm feeling pretty confident about, and that we'll get those 3 points. Our current Champions League standings then in the group. We are 2nd with a point behind RB Leipzig. It's been a poor, or I should say slow start to life in the Champions League this season for Chelsea. Yes, we got that win against RB Leipzig, who currently lead the group, but apart from that, some of our performances they just haven't been up to scratch. But I feel as though we are starting to get into the groove of things now. Win this next game against Fulham could be a bit of a platform to build on heading into our next couple of games. Obviously with West Ham coming up soon as well, we've got to get that out the way. But I think having Olympiacos next in the Champions League at home, I think that's a perfect opportunity really to really go all out and absolutely batter them. So looking at Morata, he has had a good start to life here at Chelsea. Slow start to the season, but he has pretty much picked up the pace, especially picking up that hat-trick against Newcastle United, has bumped his goal tally up to 6 in the Premier League. Here we go then, it's the West London derby. Fulham against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. When was the last time we saw these two teams play against one another? It's been a while, but they have Molo starting up top. You can see Ryan Sessegnon starts out on the left. He's going to be one to watch out for. Bit of a wonder kid, as we know. Tom Kearney in that central midfield position. Whether he'll be an advanced role, whether he'll fill into that number 10 position as the game goes on, we'll have to wait and see. Malumbu also starts for Fulham today. But for Chelsea, Caballero is in for the injured Courtois. We got Blind, Cahill, Christensen, Zappacosta, Drinkwater, Kante, Kennedy, who scored in the last game in the Carabao Cup against Sunderland, Pedro and Batshuayi. Blind finds Marcus Alonso. Got to give Blind as much game time as possible, really, just to get him into the groove of things here at Chelsea. I mean, he's had a decent start. Just want him reaching that extra level, or that next level, I should say. N'Golo Kante's effort going well over there. Expect him to do a little bit more better, being in that position as well, which he works so well in. But at the moment, we're only, 15, 16 minutes into the game. Nothing to worry about just yet. I mean, we're dominating possession. Although, I feel as though, with this being a bit of a derby as well, and with the chance of going through to the next round of the Carabao Cup, and with us playing sort of a weaker side, I feel as though Fulham will definitely be going out there looking for that win today, as we reach the half-hour mark here. Not much in the way of highlights. And as I say that, of course, there is a highlight. Sessegnon back to Rafa. They've hit the post, and it's cleared. They have got themselves a corner kick here, Fulham, at the Craven Cottage. Swung in, looking for McDonald. Kante going to chase the ball down, but stops chasing the ball. Why has he done that? Tom Kearney now. Well done, Drinkwater, but it's going to be a throw for Fulham. And that's going to be the end of that highlight. So they've had now 5 shots, 2 on target. Ball swung in again. Tom Kearney. What's he going to do here? Conte did close him down a lot better this time around. Malumbu always seems to be a thorn in the side for me. Malumbu. Here is Sessegnon. That's a good cross into the box and it's headed over. An absolute sitter on Fulham's part there. Should really be 1-0. Half time at the Craven Cottage. It's 0-0. N'Golo Kante lost possession more than any other player on his team, but he also won back possession more than any other player on his team. He's really pulling out all the stops for Chelsea at the moment, although it wasn't the best of first half performances from the team. I'll just end the team talk there. I don't think we really need to change much in the way of team instructions. Doesn't look like it. No, I think I'm happy with that. With the way the game's already been going. Although Cahill is a bit of a worry after that first half performance. 6.5 so far. Let's see how he gets on for the next, let's say, 20 minutes or so. Johansson, free kick for Fulham then. It's swung in. And I'm surprised a penalty hasn't been given there. Normally is for me on. Oh, here we go. We've got a break on. Kennedy does well. Batshuayi, come on. Pass the ball. Finally, what was with the delay? I don't like that. I'm not liking the fact Batshuayi took his time there to pick out Pedro. I mean, looking at this replay, he should be passing the ball now. Should be passing it now. But no, he continues to run with it for another second or so. Yes, there is a goal at the end of it. He does eventually find Pedro, but he needs to be releasing that ball a lot sooner. And that should be it. Just about come out on top in this game against Fulham. Pierce now picks up the loose ball from the corner. Johansson gone unchallenged, and Ojo does get his effort away, and it's Caballero who does save. Needs to be rolling this out. What's he doing? Finds Christensen. He's going to hoof that. Yeah. It's going to cost us as well, probably. Moses, well done. Finds Pedro. Pedro gets dispossessed. Malumbo, Johansson. It's Pierce. Ojo, the pressure's still there, and they've got their goal. They've got their equaliser. Unbelievable scenes here at Craven Cottage. 2 minutes before the final whistle. And Fulham are right back in this, ready to take the game into extra time, which we could have made done without. Seeing that we've got that big game at home against West Ham coming up on the weekend in the Premier League. Caballero shouldn't be getting beaten from his near post there. Not from that angle. And that is going to take us then into extra time. I'm glad I saved those extra substitutions as well. Let's go to the dressing room. What shall we say? I'm far from pleased. Don't let this slip away from you now. We've been the better team. Now, I'm far from pleased. We shouldn't find ourselves in this position. Fulham being the championship side, and with us being the overall favourites, we should have been dominating this game. We need to be a lot better. I'm going to bring on Willian as well. Shall I save Willian? Maybe we'll push Pedro onto the left, and we'll bring... I mean, Cahill has done nothing but hinder our performance at the bat. 6.4 rating. Just hasn't been solid at all. Defensive-wise, Fabregas going to pick up that loose ball now. And does well to find Pedro. He's got the run of Marcus Alonso, sets him free. Alonso going to swing this in to find Kennedy! He's done it again in the Carabao Cup. It's 2-1 to Chelsea. Now the question is, can we hold on to this lead? Good ball out wide to Alonso on that overlap. And a good cross into the box as well to find Kennedy at the far post, who heads it in to make it 2-1 to Chelsea. Is that the goal then? I'm just going to go contain. Got to play it safe. Got to shut up shop. Got to do a classic Chelsea as if Mourinho was in charge here. And park the bus. Shouldn't have to be doing this, but I feel as though there's probably another goal left in Fulham. And I mean, there's still time. As we've already seen in this game, there is still time for them to go and get an equaliser. And here we go, Sessegnon putting Caballero to the test there once again. This is what I mean. We've got another corner. Norwood swings it in. Sessegnon! Very, very unlucky there. It's on for PS, but Marcus Alonso gets in the way, and there, finally, is the final whistle. It's finished 2-1 here to Chelsea. We were took right to the 120th minute pretty much, with Kennedy getting that winning goal. So on we go in the Carabao Cup. That was a bit of a let-off. Why are some of them looking confused and demotivated? It's the truth. It was a bit of a let-off. We weren't as good as we should have been here today against Fulham. We made an absolute meal out of that game. But look at this. Brentford are through. Man United are out. And so are Spurs. Sheffield Wednesday knocking United out. Preston knocking Spurs out. We might be able to go all the way in the Carabao Cup this season. Well, looks like there's been some more upset in the Carabao Cup. Arsenal have just been knocked out by Watford. It's finished 2-0 there at the Emirates. Burnley have just knocked out Brighton, finishing 2-1. Liverpool in the Merseyside derby have knocked out Everton, finished 2-1 there at Goodison Park. And Newcastle United are through after beating West Brom 3-0 at St James's Park. So let's go ahead and see who we get in the next round of the Carabao Cup. Right, here we go then. Here it is, Carabao Cup quarter-final draw time. And it's only Chelsea and Liverpool, two of the top six left in this competition. And I bet you anything we get Liverpool in the quarter-final. Bet you. Right, we're going to do the automatic draw, as there's not many teams left in this one, so it shouldn't take too long. So who's out first? It's Burnley. They are at home then to Championship side Brentford. Sheffield Wednesday are at home to Newcastle. Watford at home to Liverpool, which means we are away to Preston. I will take that. I mean, I really was expecting us to get Liverpool. It's just my luck. But no, not this time. And hopefully after 90 minutes against Preston, we should be able to book our place in the Carabao Cup semi-final. There is the confirmation then. It is to be played Tuesday, the 19th of December. Preston against Chelsea. So next episode, I'm thinking of coming back for the game against... We've got West Ham next, then Olympiacos in the Champions League. We've got some big games coming up, to be honest. We've got Spurs, then we've got United, then Preston, then Arsenal, Liverpool, one after the other there. I'm thinking for the next episode, I'm going to come back for that one against Napoli, because I didn't do the game against Napoli after the previous episode, after what I promised. I think I'm going to come back for that one against Napoli in the Champions League, that away game. And then I think the episode after that we'll do Spurs, and then of course the one after that, the game against United. Me against Mourinho, me against United. Finally, it's one to look out for. For now though, that's it for this episode. Let me know what you guys think about the return of the Chelsea save. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.